Okay, I'll try to launch now. I was thinking it was technical issues on my side. I was like freaking out already. All right.
Okay.
Here I am launching. Allow. Connecting. Please wait. The meeting will leave. You have to let me in.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, I'm seeing something. Yay! Every little thing is a big victory for me. Oh my gosh. Okay. Join with computer audio. This is the first time I'm using my laptop, so record it. Awesome. Continue.
Okay, and I made you a co-host also.
Oh, awesome. Oh, I'm seeing somebody there already.
Yeah, Greg is here.
Do you see me?
I can't.
Oh, Lord. I'm going to set my phone down and try to see if I can make me visible. There we go. See my head now. Sorry. Is it a cute little dog or something else?
Greetings.
Greetings.
Should I press record?
We're recording.
Are we, do I have to press record on my side though? I see record thing.
It's set up to automatically record every meeting.
Okay.
Alina, look at that picture you have in the background. Holy moly.
Oh. You know who that is, right?
Come on.
My favorite movie star.
Yes.
The blonde I always wanted to be.
Of course, me too. Who didn't want to? Who didn't want to?
The sexiest blonde ever.
Yeah. Good for you, Alina, for saying it.
All right. Okay, ladies, let's pay attention to the meeting. Oh.
Let's see. Who else is here?
5:29. Oh, 5:30.
Yeah, we're ready.
I see Nick and I see Jeff. Hello.
Hello, Lucia. Hello, Aline.
Hi,
Nice to
Nick.
see you both. And Charles, of course.
Yeah.
I don't see Mary Lucy yet.
We have somebody on the phone. The number ending in 703.
Oh, I see that now. Yes.
Would you identify yourself, please?
Hi, it's April.
Oh, that's
it.
Okay. So you're on your computer and your phone.
Yes. So visually, I'm at the meeting, but sound-wise, I'm on my phone because the sound is better through my phone.
All righty. Okay.
But I can hardly hear.
See, I can't win either way. So
Speak loudly.
Yes, thank you. I'm going to do my part. I'm taking my hearing
I
aid.
don't know what else to do.
No, it's fine now. Fine.
Well, and turn up the volume on your computer if you maybe it's not all the way up too. Okay, Madam Chair, I think that we're ready to get into the agenda.
Everybody, think everybody's here?
No, Mary Lucy?
I don't think Mary Lucy's here.
But
We start.
Need to take roll.
Yeah, it's 5, 3, it's 3 after, so we'll start. Last time she joined a little late, she had tech problems, so we'll start. So I'll formally call the January 21st Advisory Council meeting to a start. And first thing on an agenda here is the roll call, and I will start with myself, Aline Via Chair, present. Charles Varney, Councilmember Charles Varney,
Present.
Councilmember Lucia Castellanovo,
Present?
Councilmember Mary Lucy, absent for now. Councilmember April Dury,
Present.
present. Okay, next on our agenda, I have the flag salute. Does anyone want to start the flag salute for me this time?
Okay, I'll do it. Ready, pledge. I pledge
Pledge
allegiance
allegiance
to the
to the
flag
flag
of
of
the
the United States of
United
America
States of
and to the
America.
and to
republic
the republic
to the
for which it
republic,
stands, one nation, under God,
under God.
indivisible, liberty and justice
liberty
for
and
all.
justice for all.
To work on that.
Next on our agenda here, we have public comment for items not on the agenda. For items not on the agenda, is there any public comment?
I'm thinking that Jeff and Nick aren't, I don't think we are, I'm assuming you're here on the topic of the Phillips public access.
Yes. Indeed, I thought it would be appropriate maybe for item 7I. But I can speak to that now if at the pleasure of the council.
I do think that would be most appropriate at that item, but in respect for your time, because that's not till way later in our agenda, and we do have several topics that are very, I'm sure we're going to be time consuming. So
Oh.
if it's all right with everybody, all the other council members, if we could take the item having to do with the Phillips 66
No,
at this moment.
Chair, I don't see, I have the agenda in front of me and I
Oh,
don't
okay.
see what you're talking.
All those in favor?
I'm
Aye.
not in favor.
I'm not in
Sorry.
favor. Can I say something? Hello?
Yes.
I don't know what I don't understand what item, what agenda item you're talking about. I see that we have a letter of opposition to ODSVRA. Is this what you mean? The item?
Is this what you, is that the item that you mean?
Yes, I was going to speak. I was going to talk about it because it's kind of a part and parcel with that item, but
Okay.
I'm happy to go during general public
I
comment.
vote for going with the agenda.
Okay, all those in favor of going with the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Single aye. Okay,
Aye.
aye.
April?
I said aye.
Aye. Okay, we'll go with the agenda then. Okay, so next on the agenda, like I said, public comment for items not on the agenda. One more time, items not on the agenda. Being that they're none, we'll go to the next item, which is the guest reports. We have county planning as our first guest reporter. Do we have anyone from county planning?
There's nobody here from planning, Madam
I
Chair.
didn't see, I don't think so. Okay. So we go code enforcement. I don't see anyone from code enforcement either.
There's not.
And Sheriff Commander Wells. Don't see him here. Commander Kellenberg, Klingenberg? Klingenberg? I'm chopping that
Sorry,
up.
I'm trying to
Sorry.
unmute it.
Klingenberg.
Klingenberg.
Okay,
Klingenberg.
it's a little
Kling-
long.
Yeah, clean on your hamburger. Clean on your hamburger.
We're ready
Yeah.
for your report.
Very good, very good. Hello, everyone. My report tonight includes our collisions for the month of December. for the Oceano beat. And for that month, we had a total of 6 collisions, 2 minor injury collisions, two collisions that were non-injury collisions, and 2 that were misdemeanor hit and run collisions, which also means those were non-injury as well. Those hit and run collisions were a vehicle versus a parked vehicle, minor damage to both of those vehicles. That pretty much sums up the collision picture. We talked to the last couple of meetings about Highway 1 there in the vicinity of Central Market and the 35 mile an hour speed sign, and getting the tree trimmed back. I know that I had discussion with Caltrans about that. I drove through there last week, and as of yet, the tree has not been trimmed back. So I need to follow up on that. And I will talk with Josh over at Caltrans to see where we're at, see what happened, and certainly let you know.
Thank you.
That is about the extent of what I have tonight. I appreciate your time again, and I'm willing to answer any questions you may have. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Lucia?
yes, I have a question, and I'm not sure really you are the right person, but if I don't ask it to you, I think maybe you are the right person after all.
I'll do my best. I always do my best.
I have, I'm a resident. I walk on the beach, and lately it has been almost looks worse than it used to be. There has been a lot of harassment of pedestrians on the beach, and in the past, I've always asked state parks, what do I do if I am in a situation that doesn't really require 911? Because of course, state parks always gets off it by saying, oh, you call 911. But now, if I am on the highway and I see somebody that is driving in a crazy way, or if I report drunk drivers, so why shouldn't I be able on the beach to report a crazy driver whom I think is drunk, or a driver that roars the engine and does a donut around me? I'm not sure those are no 911 calls. And
Okay, sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
and when I ask state parks, they always say, give me a number, because I know you have the jurisdiction over the beach. And I don't think it's a 911 request. So who do I call?
Sure. So 911, in my view, is absolutely an appropriate call for that. And we transfer, if that comes in on cellular phone, we transfer that call to the appropriate agency.
Okay.
While we can enforce traffic laws on the beach, we do not have traffic jurisdiction on the beach. Just like within the city of Grover Beach or Pismo or any unincorporated city, we can enforce traffic laws in those cities, but we would not have jurisdiction if a collision occurred or if someone was hurt there. We would not be the ones who would investigate it. But if you call 911 for things like that, we would transfer that to state parks, and they would handle the dispatch of that and handle units that are available and respond to there.
Okay. So you think it would be appropriate?
Absolutely.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
sir. You answered my question.
Okay, great.
And I have to say, and I want to make it public, harassment of pedestrian on Oceano Beach has become almost unbearable.
And so I take it you mean by vehicles that are
Yes.
driving, yeah.
Drivers, trucks are displaying hate flags and parading them back and forth. They have no other business than parading their hate flags.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, sir, for listening.
Yes. No problem. No problem. Thank you for the question.
I see we have a phone number ending in 703 with a raised hand.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
That's April.
That's April, yeah.
You have to unmute me.
You're unmuted. I can hear you.
You're unmuted.
Yeah, because I'm going through my computer when I'm trying to go through my phone.
Yeah, I can hear you well now, April.
We can hear you. We just can't see you now.
I know, and so apparently you can't figure out that my hand is raised on my phone. Now you figured it out. Okay, now I'm unmuted on my phone.
Okay,
Can you hear me better now?
yes.
Yes.
Good. Okay, the last meeting, Officer Klingenberg, I had asked about the sign.
April?
No,
I turned off my
April?
computer.
can't have both, either one or the other.
Is this better?
Yes, that's good.
I turned off my computer because you weren't going through my phone.
No, it's echoing again, April.
All right, I quit. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. I don't know what else to do.
We don't have to see you as long as we hear you. It was okay the way it was before, just,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, as long as we can hear you. That was just a comment. We want your voice, April.
Yeah, we want to.
All I kept hearing when I go through there is that you couldn't hear me.
I don't know what else to do.
We can hear you.
We can hear you. Well, now I can't.
I give up. Fuck it. I give up. I tried.
It's fine right now at this moment.
Yeah, it gets frustrating with this figuring out the tech and stuff on these meetings and we.
Does anybody recall what her question was last time? On the signs? It's not ringing a bell with me, and
Yeah, neither.
I have to apologize. I wish it did. Okay.
No, I don't.
Well, okay. Well, I'll wait for the next one, or you certainly can contact me here at the office if we have any questions. That's no problem at all. So
Okay.
thank you all. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Commander.
Thank
Yep.
you. Thank
Have a
you
great night.
for always
Okay.
making
Thank
a
you.
presence
Thank
here
you.
at our meetings.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome to stay
Right.
or not.
I have to go. I have to go to
Welcome to
briefing
go.
tonight. We're on the tail end of our tactical alert, and this is our last evening of our tactical alert. So I have to go into briefing with our officers here in a few minutes. So
Yeah. Thank you so much.
thank you.
Okay, next on our agenda here. Oh, do we have any public comment for the report? Being none, we'll continue on our agenda. Presentations. I don't think we have any presentations today, so we'll go to the next item, number 6, review and approval of minutes. Did everyone have a chance to glance at the minutes?
Yes, I move to approve.
Yes, I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Now, excuse me, Chair, I have a question. Do we have a quorum?
We do.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm not the chair. We have
That's
3 of
fine.
we have 3 of
Three of
5
us.
members.
3 or 5. Okay, that's okay.
Okay. So minutes approved, passed and approved unanimously. Next on our agenda, we have the business items. We got new business, letter of opposition to the new Otis VRA, PWP 2021. And thank you so much, Charles, for taking the initiative and writing this, what I thought was a very detailed letter in opposition and hitting all the points. And I loved the environmental justice part of it. I think that is, for me, the most important piece of opposition and the strongest one for Oceano. So thank you.
Yes, I echo the chair's comments. Thank you, Charles.
I would just add that, and thank you, I appreciate that, Alina and Lucia. I specifically wrote that to just focus on the part of the PWP that proposes to make Pier Avenue and Grand Avenue permanent entrances in perpetuity, which would mean we would never have a vehicle-free beach. And in part, make the argument based on environmental justice issues in our community. So I think that in terms of that fairly narrow focus, it does a good job of connecting the two up. So I think in that sense, it stands as a good statement on that element of it. But certainly there's lots of other things that I know we will probably want to comment on in there. So this is just that one part.
Yes, I agree.
Mhm.
Indeed,
Mhm.
indeed, it's very pertinent to Oceano.
So
And
I think that our the kind of the issue before us right now is approval of the letter and taking any input from the council members and then any public comment on it, and then we can vote on whether we want to or not to send it forward in its present form.
yes, I was saying that I really think it is very focused and appropriate to the interest of Oceano. So I have no changes. Thank you for doing it early on and give us plenty of time to
Mhm.
comment on it. And I think it includes all of Oceano's concerns,
Mhm.
and it has facts. It is convincing. It is polite, and is totally appropriate. So I would definitely approve it in its form.
I would have to second that, just what Lucia said and the points that I made before. Uh, Charles is right where we could basically have like a 30-page document, but this hits the main points, and I believe they are the strongest points. So I myself do approve. I believe like if the other individuals that aren't here today want to write another letter, add more, certain other details or factors in there, we can do that later on. We have plenty of time. But the letter as is, I think is very focused and pertinent. So I approve. So I motion that we approve this letter to be sent out as soon as possible.
Um, I think that we need to ask for public comment
Yes, we
before
need public comment.
we vote on it, Madam Chair.
Yes.
Is
And
there any
it-
public?
It's a little
comment?
awkward because nobody's seen the letter, so I have it up on my screen. Can you see it?
I can.
You can? Okay.
Can everybody else see it?
Yes, he's scrolling through it and I'm kind of reading as he goes. Yes.
Tell me when you want me to move. And sorry to subject you to this.
Good job, Charles, at sharing the screen.
I think we can call for public comment now, Madam Chair.
You have public comment to this letter?
Yes, Madam Chair, if I may. My name is Jeff Edwards, and I have to agree that the fundamental flaw of the Public Works Plan is the attempt to galvanize access to their park at Grand and Pier Avenues. So clearly that's very important, and to get that message across. However, as a practical matter, parks they have to have access to their park, in my opinion. And that would presume that the park is not going to close in the foreseeable future. So if they don't get access from either Pier or Grand Avenue, and I would submit closing access from Pier and keeping it open at Grand, the cars are just going to cross the beach and your beach and cross the road, Grande Creek, because they have to get to their staging area. And so as a practical matter, unless there's another entrance, one that the coastal development permit in 1982 anticipated, a south entrance, the prospects of closing Grand and Pier are remote to vehicles. So what I'd like to talk about just briefly, and since it's not on your agenda, you can't take any action as a group clearly, but as individuals, you might want to consider the action I'll suggest at the very end. But this relates to a southern access, and most of you are familiar with the Phillips 66 location, and you may remember back in 2013, they increased the processing capacity at the plant. And during that permitting process, there was an offer of dedication obtained from Phillips 66 that went from the Willow Road, Highway 1 area all the way to the beach. This was a 10-foot wide public access way. And so Phillips 66 has another project now on the table, and that's going to the Board of Supervisors this coming Tuesday. I wrote a letter, some of you may have seen it, to the board regarding this matter, and I'm asking the board to basically expand the width of the access way. And this is a dedication that's on paper that can be accepted by state parks, but it would have to be affirmative action by state parks to have this. But the main excuse state parks has given for not establishing the southern entrance is they don't have the land. And so if the Board of Supervisors on Tuesday does expand the existing dedication, and this is about 1.5 miles long. And so if the Board of Supervisors does expand it to the 80 feet that I've asked for, then the stage is set for parks to assume or take this land, and then it would be up to them to permit a project to gain access, the physical improvements, and actually build them. And so that's what I'm asking the Board of Supervisors to do on Tuesday at 1:30. It's the second item of the afternoon. And all I can say in closing is that if you look into it a little bit, it's item 31 on the board agenda for Tuesday. If you go to the staff reports, you can read all of their information plus my letter. And after reviewing the material, if you are so inclined, I would urge you to contact your supervisor, Lynn Compton, or all the supervisors for that matter, and express your views on the situation. I would ask for a support of it's an appeal of a planning department approval of this project. And I'll say that the project's kind of small. In fact, the project is a soil remediation project. And in fact, one of the first of what will be many closure related projects they're going to propose. And what I've asked the board to do is let's not put this off into the future. Let's make a decision now about the access and the offer of dedication. And then we don't have to worry about it. Their other projects can come forward and they can go unimpeded so that they can close the refinery and remediate the site. So that's it. Please review my letter and the other materials. And if you have a chance, contact Lynn Compton or other supervisors. And it again is Tuesday afternoon at 1:30. Thank you. And I'm available for questions. And certainly I support the letter Charles wrote.
Any other public comment?
Yeah, I might, if I might, Madam Chair, Nick Alter.
Go ahead.
All I would say, I would simply like to echo everything Jeff just presented to you. I believe that the most expedient way in which to get a vehicle-free beach for Oceano is to facilitate the southern entrance. All too often, we have depended on Coastal Commission to take action to clear the way at some point in the future. And at every turn over the last several decades, that has failed. And we're seeing right now in the change of leadership at Natural Resources, a further potential for blockage of commission action, as happened in 2017 and happened recently. Blockage of action by the Coastal Commission on staff recommendations to bring about the change. So my sense is that based on the pattern of history, that the likelihood of missing out on this opportunity and allowing the Coastal Commission to be the determining and putting our eggs in the Coastal Commission's basket would be a futile one. If not futile, maybe that's too strong. I would say that I would, if I were a betting man, I wouldn't bet on it happening. I would bet, however, that this idea of a southern entrance and the facilitation of this entrance through P66 has the very real potential of appealing to state parks. And for that reason, I encourage OAC's support of it. Thanks very much.
So I have a question. Jeff, thank you both, Jeff and Nick, for coming. And I appreciate your vigilance, Jeff, on items like this. finding the needles in the haystacks, really. But so specifically, two things. Is this easement, you say it's a 1.5 miles long. Does that actually get you to the beach or into the SVRA?
Yes, it takes you to the westerly edge of the Phillips 66 property, and which is immediately adjacent to the ODSVRA.
Okay.
And in fact, sorry, I was just gonna add that of the 1,780 acres, and if you've seen, it's kind of a trapezoidal shaped property. 600 of that acres is already in the ODS VRA, and this access actually goes through that 600 acres. So yeah.
Okay.
May I interject something on that point? May I have permission? I spoke to the CAL FIRE chief a few months ago about this entryway. And CAL FIRE has been using this easement now for years for emergency services to the beach. When there is an accident, this is their primary way of getting to the beach. So it's, as a practical matter, it's there, it's being used. And the idea of expanding its width would accommodate, of course, a much larger traffic, a lot more cars and vehicles. So anyway,
Multi-purpose as well.
multi-purpose, right?
So it's, and I'll just wrap up here. So it's actually, I mean, there's road base down here. Are they in 4-wheel drive going through sand to get out there?
Different segments are more passable than others.
Yeah.
But this is used routinely by Phillips 66 and was built by Phillips 66 because the purpose of this road is it services their ocean outfall line. So they discharge quite a bit of water every day to the ocean. And so there are cleanouts, if you will, along this line, and this road kind of wiggles around that, and then they're able to get to their pipeline, their outfall line. So yeah, it's used by them, and then also, as Nick pointed out, for emergency purposes, and state parks uses it. So.
I have a question for Jeff. Now, Jeff, I don't understand exactly what offer of dedication means.
Okay, so an offer of dedication is where a person that owns real estate records in the county recorder's office an offer to provide an easement to someone in the future that would accept it. So it's kind of this open invitation, if you will. And it has to have somebody to accept it, to make it real. And so for now, it's just an offer. There's already this offer of 10 feet for 1.5 miles. I'm asking that it be 80 feet wide by 1.5 miles. And then nothing would happen unless, and the only logical entity is for state parks to accept it. Then if they accepted it, they can use this land. It's theirs to use. Now,
the offer of dedication has been made to whom? To state parks?
No, it's open to any public agency or other qualified entity. But again, there's a short list here.
So you're asking that parks accept it?
Well, that's the second part. The part we're working on right now is creating a swath of land sufficiently sized so state parks would be motivated to take it. They could use it if it were sufficiently wide. 10 feet is not going to serve for access to the ODS VRA.
Thank you.
Unfortunately.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
I guess one more. And so Jeff, the proposal to the board would be, since Phillips wants to get a permit now to do a job, that a condition of that permit would be that they enlarge the physical aspects of the existing
dedication.
Dedicate this road. Is that basically the ask?
That's basically it.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
And they would be, and also county would agree to waive the legal obligation they're presently under. That is, that P66 is presently under, to complete the construction that was a condition of its original permit, which they never fulfilled on.
Yeah.
So there would be two benefits to P66 to go along with this.
Yeah, they could resolve this question of access for all times and all projects. And then they could also get out from under the requirement to physically build something, because that's what the 2013 throughput condition said. give the land up and build the 10-foot wide trail for 1.5 miles. Well, I'm asking that since they're closing the refinery and not going to be involved with that property for very long, in theory, take that off the table as Nick suggested. So this is actually a benefit to Phillips 66 in some ways.
Mhm.
And just to close on it, there's a legal concept that you can't take land without a purpose and a reasonable relationship between what's being given it by way of a permit and what's being taken. So there's this fairness question. And the case I would make is that at 80 feet wide for 1.5 miles, and this is in my letter if you didn't read that yet, that total land area equals 15 acres. And as a percentage of the total Phillips 66 holding, it's less than 0.8% of their total land area. So it's not a real big deal in terms of a fairness question. So I just wanted to add that. It's a seemingly small item.
Any more public comment?
No questions, no public comment?
I would just say, please contact your supervisor. That really, it's in Lincomp. This is going to be her district. She's going to make the call on this. So.
Thank you so much for
Thank you.
that.
Yeah, thank you for taking the time to share that with us.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And you're welcome to stay or not.
I'm probably going to head off. I don't have a briefing with my officers, but I'm probably gonna have a little dinner actually. So thank you and
Thank you.
take
Good
it easy. Please call in on Tuesday as well if you would like.
Mhm.
Public comment on this will be taken like all the other board meetings. Most of you are all familiar with how to do that. So please call in this. Really just quickly, the item in front of the Phillips 66 item is Nick Tompkins 1,200 plus units on US 101 near Willow Road. So this is just 3 or 4 miles east of the Phillips 66 plant is this development on 160 acres. And so it's the beginning of that process at the county for a fairly big project in Napomo there. So anyways, it'll be a fun afternoon on Tuesday at the board.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I'm going to sign off too. Thank you. It's great to see you all.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you.
Okay.
We go back to putting the
Need to
letter. of
approve the letter.
Do I have a
Just
motion?
approve it.
Yes, I motion that we send this letter.
I second.
We send this letter to the appropriate agencies, to the Coastal Commission, and most likely also we should send it to, that we adopted. I motion that we adopt this letter and to whom to send it to be verified
To the appropriate
to the
the ones-
appropriate agencies.
individuals who sent it before, basically.
Right, I think that there is a list that, without the details. I don't know, Alina, if you need some assistance getting some of those specific email addresses. I mean, for Crowfoot, for Quintero and those folks are,
I think I have most of them, and I remember a couple of them got kicked back, but then I sent them again and I didn't get it kicked back again. So I just didn't get an answer from a couple of them. So
also, I don't know if it's on the list there, but the Coastal Commission staff, the head of the Central Division and the central staff person that we met with a few weeks ago, I think they ought to get it too.
They do, especially because they say that the council is important.
So what I'll do is before I send it out, I'll email all the contacts, so everyone that I'm going to mail it to. And then you can see if they're all there. And if I need to add one or two,
Okay,
Good.
mention that before that.
okay.
The most important is that we send it to this new website that has been created, that Charles, that you just sent us that list,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, yes,
There is an address, there is a specific address for comments on these, the Coastal Commission has
Oh,
created.
a new one? Oh,
Yeah,
right.
and
And
we
State
need
Park
to-
says their special one too.
so we make sure that, and it's go out within the week, right?
yes.
Okay.
I'm going to send out, most likely either tonight or tomorrow, all the emails that I have of who I plan to send it on. And the new emails that Charles or you have, or, and different individuals that are left out, make sure you put them there and I'll add them. I'll
Yes,
make sure to add that. And it'll go out first thing Monday. Monday it should be going out unless there's something that prevents me from sending it out on Monday.
Mhm.
yes. So I motion that we adopt, that the council adopts this letter.
I second. All those in favor, or should we have a roll call?
I think we can do it by
Just
Just a-
I.
verbal.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. And thank you again, Charles. Very well thought out.
Wonderful.
Thank
That
you.
was very thoughtful.
Can't thank Charles enough.
Happy to be of service.
That's wonderful.
I
And he,
wanted to, we have I think a community member, Amy Justice, who's sitting in on the meeting. I wonder, Miss Justice, if you wanted to share anything.
Hi, no, I'm okay. I'm just listening in tonight, seeing how.
Okay.
Hi.
Well, it's great to have you here. And we're
Thank you.
always looking for interested Oceano residents to
Yeah, of course.
participate in this. So welcome.
Nice to meet you. Nice to
you.
see your face.
Thank you, thank you. I'm making dinner, so I.
When he said
turned-
that, I looked up, I'm like, oh, okay, it's my first time co-hosting. I'm not used to it, so you got to pay attention.
You're doing great.
There you are.
And yeah, please feel comfortable to go back to, I mean, you don't have to be on the screen, but I just wanted to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself. And
Thank you. Yeah, I am just listening in tonight, so.
okay, wonderful.
I'm
Listen
good.
away.
All right.
Okay.
Next on our agenda, we have the OAC at large opening and the bylaws. And I
Okay.
still wish that Miss Dury hadn't left, because she's the one of the individuals that, one of the reasons that I have this on the agenda, she wanted more clarification, more details on the writing of the bylaws on when it comes to the openings and the membership.
Uh-huh. Okay. Let me see, I think that I'd like to try and share the information on the screen.
you're talking about that document you sent to all of us?
Well, I just you know, cut and copied and pasted the that part of the bylaws on membership.
Well,
And
I'm
we do have an existing vacancy.
Right.
And if that we have announced and nobody has stepped forward, right? So we do have some issues with that. And we were discussing wanted to discuss expanding the number of at-large seats as a way of bringing in more people from the community, more representative, more diverse, and also people that have skills that can, help us expand our bandwidth.
Right.
I mean, is it?
I,
We have our definitely at this point, our reach exceeds our grasp. There's lots of things we'd like to do that, and we all have lots of other things we're doing that, and many hands makes the work lighter. So, I mean, that's really my part of my motivation to wanting to expand the number of at-large positions. And we also wanted to talk about the membership. So let me.
that I remember, there were really basically only an issue that we were considering revisioning, and that was the allowing outside. I was looking for the document you sent, Charles, and I can't find it, in which you, the one you're talking about. I have problems with allowing outside organizations to have representatives in Oceania. And I think that was really the bone of contention. And as per
The article that Charles sent, Lucia, he sent the actual section that speaks to that just speaks to the membership.
okay.
And it's also on the agenda that I sent.
I couldn't get it out of the agenda, but
It-
anyway, yeah.
It's on the agenda. It should be blue, membership bylaws.
It didn't, yeah, no, I can't get it. It says, it says that the file is in the owner's trash. It doesn't matter. I know exactly what he's talking about. So that was the paragraph we wanted to take out. Actually, some of us wanted to take out. Okay, isn't that? Yeah. And then there was another one. There was Article 4 that I did a little draft that I sent you all. Membership openings will be advertised in as many places as possible. Every effort will be made to include online and in-person venues for public notice. A vacancy will not be filled for at least 30 days from posting it, and will only occur when receipt of at least one letter of intent is submitted, agendized, and then voted on by current members. That's also the changes we needed to make, because that's what happened when we voted in Rio Cordes without advertising it, without allowing any other people. So we requested that we make some changes to that. Did you all get this
Yes.
small document? Okay.
Yes, but I believe from what I understood from all the emails back and forth, that the issue, because I too have issue or don't agree with outside people from Grover Beach, Aurora Grande, other areas being part of our council. I think that should be taken out, struck out. But I think what April was talking about, and I don't know if it was just her, that they wanted to change the at-large membership from 6 to 9. If I recall correctly? Do you recall that, Charles?
Yeah, I think that right now it's, I apologize for not having this up in front of me, but I have my own challenges with, like, I can't minimize the screen because I'm hosting, so I can't go to some of my other, things that I have.
That was, I believe that was the outside, I believe the majority of us were in agreement that we don't want outside agencies or organizations.
Yes, I think that provision is, I agree with you. Any outside organization that wants to work with us, I mean, I've never experienced this body as not being open to working with people. I mean, let's say the Boys and Girls Club of San Luis Obispo County wants to come in and talk with us about wanting to expand the Boys and Girls Club thing in Oceano, and of course we'll engage with that. They don't need to have a seat at the table.
On board, yes.
And so, and it's,
Absolutely.
I'd be a little more comfortable if we had the full complement of our council here tonight
Yeah.
when we make changes to the bylaws, but I think that, and I don't know how the two of you feel, it's certainly within our authority to do that. We do have a quorum, I'm sorry, here. But I'm hearing all three of us agree that we want to eliminate that number 3 option.
Mhm.
I do. I think it is right to do it. And I don't see how can be used against us.
Mhm.
Mm.
Do you want to make a motion?
Yes, I do motion that we eliminate paragraph what? What is the paragraph number?
Number
I-
3,
Number 3. Yes.
the referring to outside organizations membership.
I motion to erase from our bylaws paragraph 4 about the presence on the board of outside of Oceano organizations.
I second.
Okay.
Should we do roll call?
Any comment from anybody? And that would be
Amy?
you, Ms. Justice, because when we call for public comment, if you have anything to say, just speak up. Otherwise, we'll just move along.
No, I don't have any comment. You're
Okay.
good.
Okay.
This is my husband, by the way.
And baby.
And the baby. Hey. Oh, wonderful. Hey, buddy.
Are you're Oceano resident?
Yes, we are over on Air Park.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, we will be on our best behavior. So you come back.
Okay.
So
Okay, so there is a motion on the table in a second.
all those in favor, or should we do roll call?
We do the same as we did before.
Roll call. All those in favor, aye.
Hi.
Okay, and there's a lot more to this. I think that just we should table this so that we have more of our council members to discuss the details of other changes.
Before, and I agree with that, Madam Chair, but I'd like to have just a little more informal talk about it. And then maybe just to kind of clarify what our next steps are. I would like us to consider expanding the number of at-large representatives.
Sure.
I look at South County Advisory Committee. They have, I think, 13 or 15 people on that board, and they do a lot of work. They have a lot of involvement because they have, well, first of all, they have people who want to be there. And with that number of people that have a passion and a commitment, and a number of them probably come on because they have a particular issue. Like they're really concerned about this new development that Jeff was talking about, which is, and that's okay, but they bring it back to the whole council that then discusses and all of that, or just to have somebody who's really great at, helping us manage the website, and also is passionate about the community. So I think that that's what, my main reason for wanting to expand. And it is important to me to have a range of people on the board. I mean, I would welcome a reasonable, representative from the OHV community, or that is looking at, wants to be, part of that discussion. I think that is healthy for us. And I think it's what, our president is calling for in terms of starting to engage with our neighbors and again, reasonable civil people with of goodwill can come together and often come up with better decisions than just the already convinced talking to each other. So I'd like to continue the conversation, but I do think it would be in our best interest to expand.
I would have to agree with you, Charles, there. The more people, the easier the load. We have a lot to deal with here in Oceano lately. And the more, people that there are, there's more talents, there's more passions, and it'll be, more effective and efficient. So yes, I'm for that also.
Mhm.
And also for, discussing the other changes in with the rest of the council members.
Well, I do understand. Um, what about just making this change that I was talking about? I think um, this is important, especially if in the future we want to enlarge. It's important to have something that specifies how new memberships will be accepted, because that's completely missing in the bylaws.
It isn't. There's a whole section that talks about how if somebody becomes a member, and it's either through, they write a letter or they show up at a meeting and they can be seated that night and start participating.
No, I agree with you, but there is nothing about not feeling about having the duty to advertise it and do all. Then there is nothing about that the vacancy will not be filled for at least 30 days, so that everybody will have a chance to have the announcement. And that is, we need to put that, like somebody just comes in the next day and that it will be open until at least one letter of intent is submitted. I think those are three important changes that need to be added.
All right. Well, I generally support that, Lucia. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather look at that whole thing as a piece together, as opposed to making that individual change right now tonight.
Oh, so you rather look at what did you say? You rather look at the whole bylaws? Please repeat.
This issue of expanding membership.
Yeah.
And the giving public notice of
protocol, a protocol.
Yeah, to kind of do those together as a piece. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah,
because they relate to each other so much.
Okay, then no problem.
So this is
And again, I'd like to have Mary and April here.
Okay.
Yes, we're just discussing now. We're over any voting or making any more changes. We did the changes already that we were going to, and we're just going to table it, Lucia, table it and discuss it at the next meeting so the other individuals could have input.
Sure.
But we agree with you.
Yes.
We agree. So are we done with this?
Yeah.
For now?
For now?
For now.
All right. Any public comment on this topic? Being none,
we'll just move on.
We'll move on to fireworks, OAC protocol. And I put this on the agenda because fireworks is so important and because April, I was a little confused as to exactly what April was wanting the council to do about fireworks, how to go about it. I think I understood from my last meeting was that she wanted me to forward the emails and also attach them to the agenda. I did not receive any emails regarding fireworks or any other issue since our last meeting. Fireworks was basically all the emails were about fireworks, and I'm glad that the OCSD at our meeting decided to go ahead with major changes when it comes to our fireworks ordinance. So being that April is not here, and we're also missing Councilmember Lucy, we can discuss this, but I also want to table it.
Aline, can you, or I guess you could do it at the end of the meeting with the OCSD report. I'd just like to get kind of a summary, because I had to leave that meeting before they really got into it, and what's the takeaway from the meeting? What is OCSD doing about fireworks?
So what, can we talk about it, the OCSD, because that was
Yeah, sure. Okay, let's do it.
issue of the OCSD.
Fine. Right.
Okay, so are we done with this topic now, I guess?
Yeah.
This table. We got the vice chair opening.
I'm interested in the vice chair opening, but I can't do both the treasurer and the vice chair. And I actually see the vice chair as more work. The treasurer job is, at least at this point, until we get the $20 million grant from the Biden administration, the bookkeeping is going to be easy. So I'd be willing to, I would be willing to become the vice chair and to, help out in that regard with, with meetings and logistics and whatever, the chair, however I can be helpful to the chair, I think would be my job. But we would need somebody to be take on the secretary duties.
Are you the secretary right now? I
I'm
thought
sorry,
you were
sorry, treasurer.
treasurer. Yeah,
I misspoke.
yeah. I am not interested in either position. No.
Okay, so being that you can't be both, Charles.
I mean, I can be both temporarily until we get a
Okay,
treasurer.
okay, so
I mean,
you're
just as a matter of, so we have a treasurer of record.
Oh, but that means that we need a motion to make you the vice chair.
Yes, we do.
Okay, yes, I motion that I nominate Charles to be our new vice chair.
And I second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Congratulations, Charles.
Oh, I was outvoted.
So, and you are the pro tempore treasurer, right?
I am still the treasurer and now I'm the vice chair.
Right. But now we have a treasurer opening.
We will be looking to replace me as the treasurer.
Yes, okay.
At our next meeting. Okay. Next on our agenda, we have any public comment on this vice chair opening?
No.
Being none, we will go to old business. We got the vacation rental ordinance.
Okay. So back in, wow, I think it was December or something, I sent a draft proposal of a vacation rental ordinance for Oceano. And it was, and obviously it was a cut and paste job from, and using the study of the Cal Poly student on vacation rentals in Oceano, and borrowing from the Los Osos Advisory Council, their vacation rental stuff. And so what I would like to do is for our next meeting to definitely to agendize this And we will attach we'll treat that document that I sent around as the draft ordinance for vacation rentals in Oceano that we're proposing, publicize that around, and start taking public feedback.
Mhm.
I'd also like to invite the author or the leader of the vacation rental interest group from Los Osos to come and be a guest speaker at the meeting to talk to us a little bit about the process that they went through.
Yes.
Just a quick reminder, and for Amy as well, there are across the county, and especially in the beach communities, but in other communities, vacation rentals are very controversial. And a vacation rental is typically a house that's rented out. It can be rented out like 4 times a month. So people in Oceano, there are a number of homes over in, I don't know if it's exactly in the Air Park neighborhood, but all over out there along Strand, and about half the homes out there are vacation rentals. They're great money makers, but then they do impact the whole quality of community, and that's what's controversial about them. So we are proposing, or at least the draft ordinance that we put together, bans any more vacation rentals in the basically in Oceano community east and north of Highway 1. That is not in the coastal zone. Pretty much most of the community that's west of Highway 1 is in the coastal zone and covered by the local coastal zone ordinances. And there we allow vacation rentals, but with some stipulations on density, and then some other options that we potentially could include in the ordinance. So that's all put together as a discussion document, and I think that's a good way to go out. We're taking public input on it, and I think that we might, other than the SVRA, this will light the fire under some people that will be, I think, probably strongly supportive of it, and others who will be not so supportive of it.
Right.
But that's our job. And I know in Los Osos, they worked on this. It was a very long process, and they had, I think, 4 or 5 person committee that worked pretty much full time on it.
Yeah.
And, we don't have a lot of capacity here, but I think probably the most valuable thing we can do right now is start community discussion about it. And we know that down the line, one of the big reasons for having something like this is to protect lower income housing, affordable housing in our
Yes.
community.
Protect rentals. People need to be able to rent,
Right.
because if all the homes are taken by tourists, our community is going to become just a subdivision of tourists with no identity, no sense of community, no sense of responsibility for what's happening in the community. And then we would really be lost.
Mhm. I think I appreciate that, Lucia. It's especially important for those of us that are advocating for a vehicle-free beach, which we know is going to change our community. If we are vehicle-free
Right.
beach, every piece of property is going to be worth more
Skyrocket.
money.
Yes.
There's going to be pressure for development, and
Yes.
we want it to be the right kind of development, and we want to protect
Absolutely.
our affordable rental stock for people who live here,
Absolutely.
and will ultimately have more jobs here in the community.
Right.
So it's part of a bigger picture.
Yes. Big picture. Yeah.
I want to thank you, Charles, for doing this. Wow, you do so much for Oceano.
Yes, thank you.
I love Oceano. I love the people of Oceano.
I know you do.
I love both of you.
And just exactly, we don't want this, you know, to we want people to be able to buy and rent at affordable prices, and we want the character to remain the same as it is. Because I would hate it if Oceano turned into every other street was like vacation rentals. You know, you would have all these parking, all these parties, all these.
Yes. And
People
nobody.
who they don't care about the community, they're here to
They
party.
don't come to the Oceano Council. They don't, you know, they wouldn't come to our meetings. They wouldn't, no. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So we ought to probably start working on that agenda. And I'll work with you, Chair, in terms of so that we can have all the links together where people can go to the document and all that kind of stuff, which, you
Did
know,
you send
I'm
out
technologically challenged that way.
in the past? I remember you sent out the vacation. I'm pretty sure of the vacation rental study, or I can't
Yes,
remember.
I did. Mhm,
Did you send it out to everybody? Does everybody have that?
mhm.
Yes, by
And
the
we can attach that, or we should put all this is where we need the website. And I don't know who, do you have can
I
you?
I don't know how to alter the website, but if you forward me, I know you sent it. I can't remember where you sent it.
I
I'll
can
take
get it
out.
back to you, but like if we could get that document, those documents, like our draft of the ordinance.
Listen,
vacation rental.
I have been playing around with website lately, and I learned how to do the OBCA website until it was taken away from us. So I might be able to figure it out. But just send me the coordinates on how to get in. Okay.
I don't have those.
You don't have those, like the passwords and then the login.
No idea. That's way above my pay grade as vice chair.
Who has it?
I have a password and I can like get in into the agendas and the meetings, but I don't know how to alter, like set up a different tab. So when the public goes in there and sees a tab that says documents,
Then entering the documents in there and
like
all
the
of that.
agendas, I noticed when you click agendas, or I don't recall if it's agendas or meetings, but one of those two tabs, you will find documents there. I don't know if it was Cynthia or someone who created a folder that has documents in there, and it has some letters and stuff that was sent in the past, but like the public can't see on the website that those things exist there. They can see it, just the agendas and the meetings.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't know if I'm explaining myself correctly, but
Yeah, Lena, why don't we get together, you and I, and figure it out?
okay, we can try.
With masks on, but
Mhm.
I'm sure we can figure it out.
well, and this is something that, you know, I think would be a good expenditure of some of our meager funds to hire somebody. And I really appreciate both of you volunteering to, you know, put your heads together, but to get somebody who knows our platform. And Melanie, who's the new president of Surfrider in San Luis Obispo County, Melody is, I mean, she's a website person, right? And she knows the platform that we use. And I've had some talk with her, and she just, what she came back to me with was like, well, specifically, what do you want to do? And I had a hard time with that, other than kind of a general updating and making it easier. But this is kind of specific, you know, in terms of like, well, okay, we want to be able to upload documents and get them in there.
That's
and
the
like
most important thing.
Sure, we could have the whole PWP there for people to
Yes.
just click on and go to. I mean, you know, that makes it really useful. So and ultimately, you two mastering that and developing your skills and capacities that you can then train other people, and you know, but we can use her, and hire her to help you out if you'd like that. And
It would probably cut the time, like
yeah, sure.
more than half. I'm sure like it would take me and Lucia an hour, it would take her 3 minutes.
Right, and what she can do is she can get it up
Show us, Lucia.
and share it on her screen, and you can watch her how she goes through
Yes.
and makes the thing happen.
You can just pay her for an hour and she just shows how to upload the document.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll contact her and
Yeah.
then I'll keep you two in the loop.
Yes, and the Oceano Beach Community Association also needs her, and we will hire her too for an hour to show us how to upload documents on our website.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, because Cynthia, I remember the first time I heard that name, I asked, Cynthia sent me her website for her campaign that she was working on. And I asked her how she set up such a nice website. And she said, well, it wasn't me, Aline, it was somebody from Surfrider, Melanie from Surfrider. I'm like, oh, okay. I thought you did it. She's, oh, no, I wish. And it was nice. It was a Wix, and she said she was very reasonable and very knowledgeable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So thank you, Charles. Like
Right.
if you could contact her for us, that would be.
Yes, I will. I'll write to her and I'll CC both of you. And then
Okay.
we'll all be hooked up.
Yes. All right.
So any comments, any public comment on the vacation rentals?
No.
Being none, we'll go to the next item, which is website management, which has a lot to do with what we just
Well,
discussed.
we did that one.
We did that.
Did that. So
And we did the next one too.
yes, we did the website and cannabis tax. There's nothing on that.
Oh, that one.
Otis VRA Coastal Commission updates. And I think Lucia is our expert on that.
Well, we kind of basically, actually, the Oceano Beach Community Association had a meeting, which you were both present, with the staff in charge of the ODSVRA. And what comes out is that staff intends to recommend to the meeting of the Coastal Commission at the special hearing. There will be a special hearing in March on the work plan that State Parks has for ODSVRA, and to review the work that Parks has been doing at the ODSVRA. Actually, the hearing is the review of the permit, of the original permit from 1982. So staff will recommend a transition plan, a 5-year transition plan. They will see at the end of 5 years, 0 vehicles on the ocean, on the beach south of Pier Avenue. 0 vehicles, no day use, no camping, no OHV. It will allow this transition plan to kind of make up and to kind of still provide some camping, which really there is. I agree with the need for some affordable camping, a certain small number. There will be a smaller number of campers between Pier and Grand. They say 500, that's a lot. However, that's what they will suggest. So that's the plan. At first, and I'll talk about the OBCA when my turn is, but this is what it is. Coastal Commission will have a special hearing sometimes in March to hear about the work plan and to make recommendations and possibly even to update, change the original permit, which allows state parks to drive on the beach. You see what Jeff said, that state parks must have access to SVRA, and that's all his basic tenet for advocating a southern entrance. But it's not really true. No, it does not need to. They think they need it, but where it is written that they need access? Actually, what they needed to realize is that SVRA is landlocked. There is no reasonable entrance. There is not. It's landlocked. That's because after the Coastal Act and after the Sierra Club suit, which closed the Los Flaco entrance, which was the main entrance, it became landlocked except for the beach. And the Coastal Commission gave parks permit to drive on the beach as an access, but it doesn't have to have it. If there isn't, there isn't. Okay, so anyway, so that's what it stands.
Any discussion?
I would like to, this is a little off the exact point that Lucia was making. I think we're all realizing how well organized the off-highway vehicle lobbying group is.
Oh, yes.
And I know we're all gearing to the March 18th thing, but I think the more that we organize our our various groups that we're part of, to have people coming to doing public comment at the February Coastal Commission meetings, at the March Coastal Commission meetings. And I know the three of us have been there. What I observed, I think I was in on, I testified on Thursday. There were, I would say, I didn't count them, but I think there were, and Lena and I were in the same meeting. In my head, I thought there were at least 25
Yeah, I was
people.
there too. Yes, they were
Right,
known.
right, we're doing, with their very smart video
Very smart.
clips that they have made, and they have Latino, Hispanic business people in Oceano, strongly supporting the off-road vehicle stuff, and we're, and then this isn't any blaming thing, but we could, it'd be nice if we can start to step up our presence there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, I'm done.
And that's it.
That's it.
And we're working hard on that, Charles, but it's just,
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, because you have to really dedicate about 2 hours in the middle of the day to it. And, and that cuts a whole lot of people out.
Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
but I thought we did great. For our small
Well,
group.
there wasn't quantity, but there was great quality. And sometimes, their quality is not very good. There's a lot of quantity, but
Yes, but it almost seems to me like they hired a consultant or something.
oh
and-
yeah, oh, they have, yes, absolutely.
Well, they did. They had all the points. They were even advocating environmental injustice towards the
Oh,
Latino.
they've got the EJ thing down.
They got the
Absolutely.
whole thing down. They had the whole thing down. Yes. Mhm. But doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The Coastal Commission has already spoken. They are going to make their recommendations. It doesn't matter how many people will go there.
Well,
I
and
don't
it's just, you're never gonna make points by cussing out the commissioners.
No,
Nobody, and they kind of shoot themselves in the foot
they did. Somebody said
frequently about.
we are collecting signatures to get you all off office, out of office,
Mhm.
to get you all out of office. She said to the
Oh, I
commission.
remember that. I remember that comment.
Mhm.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
Okay, let's go on.
Any public comment on this item?
No,
Being none, we'll go to curb gutter and sidewalk committee. I think that's pretty much
Nobody's here
dormant
from
right now. And the vacation rental density
We did it.
restrictions for Oceano. Well, we discussed that on the
Yeah.
vacation rental permits. So now we're down to council member, officer and officer reports. And we'll start with treasurer's report, Charles.
no change in the treasury. We have $700 in there. The big piece of undone work, and I'm totally responsible for that lack is to make application to the county to get um, a infusion of cash into our account. It'd probably be in around maybe $1,000 or maybe $1,500, so that we do have our expenses of like the Zoom account and our post office box and needing help with the website and that sort of stuff. So, I mean, as long as the county doesn't have a tech person that we can call and get that sort of support, which wouldn't be a bad idea, really, because there's a lot of advisory councils. But, you know, so I have, and I've talked with April about it, and I have the ones that Jennifer did, and it doesn't look like it's that challenging of a process. And so that'll be something April and I will work on together and see if we can get something pounded out. I think with her ability and her energy, we can probably get something done pretty quick. We just need to find the time.
Does that conclude your report?
Yes, it does.
Okay, thank you so much, Charles. And we got the OBCA, Oceano Beach Community Association report from Lucia.
Yeah, I have to say the Oceano Beach Community Association has been very active. As you know, we had obtained a small grant for our community, and we had a local artist, Oscar, do a big mural. Please drive by Highway 1. He has painted the southern wall of Chacho, a very special, very old, very characteristic takeout, also eat there outside on the sidewalk, eatery of Oceano, Mexican food. So he is almost done with the mural. It looks beautiful. Just drive by, take a picture, and then he will make another little mural on the Tapatia, again on Highway 1. The purpose is to make drivers on Highway 1 to slow down, to look at the murals and slow down, and hopefully make it easier for pedestrians to cross the highway. It is a beautification of Oceano. It is the assertion that we are a very special community to create beauty, to attract visitors that are not necessarily only drivers on the beach. And we got a call from KCBX, and we're going to be on TV. KCBX is going to interview the OBCA about the mural. So we're very proud of that. The alleys, we have been, the OBCA has kind of informally adopted the alleys of Oceano, and we are cleaning them all up. Alina got the OCSD to provide us a big dumpster, which is dropped by our location, and we clean the alley and dump everything in the dumpster. And we have to say that since we have been doing the cleanup, actually people have been really doing their own alleys, and it looks like, you know, people see us work, and it really has made a change. We have seen Oceano, especially the alleys, much cleaner. Yes.
That's wonderful. Do you invite the actual residents to join you?
Oh, definitely. We send out a big mail out that week to our 140 mailing list and we go out. Alina takes special care to go out to the location and talk to the residents. We had lots of residents joining. Last time, in fact, we cleaned up the front yard of a neighbor. She had a whole bunch of trash, and we say, hey, you know what? We have a dumpster here. Why don't we carry your trash out? And that's what we did. We carried the neighborhood trash out. You see? And we have our sign out there. We have our vest to say OBCA. So I think that works really well. That's where we really need to start. And then, of course, we had the meeting with the Coastal Commission, as I was saying, and we requested another meeting with the Coastal Commission. We would like to know the specifics of this transition plan. We don't want them to just say 5 years and then drop it and details to come. No, we want to see what do they mean. Do they mean that we're going back to the beginning to 3,500 cars and start transitioning from there? Or does it mean that we start transitioning from now, where it's only 1,000 cars on the beach? Okay, we want to make sure that we know that. We want to make sure that the camping north of Pier will not happen until the camping south of Pier had disappeared. Otherwise, we're going to have 5 years with both camping on both north and both south. So we requested another meeting.
Mhm.
And that's all. And we have an opening for a secretary. If anybody is interested in joining the OBCA and being a secretary, as you see, there are openings everywhere. There is need for man, woman power everywhere. It just,
Lucia,
and I'm done.
I'm gonna have to interrupt you because you forgot to, and I don't know how, add or discuss our meeting with Guadalupe Council and talk about our vision. Did you forget about our vision and presentations to?
I'm so
the
sorry.
council?
Alina reached out,
Yeah.
we reached out to the Guadalupe Council, and we had a meeting with two wonderful members of the Guadalupe Council. And we talked about our concerns for the ODSVRA. And because you see, State Parks wants to build a huge settlement with campgrounds and buildings and parkings down there by Oso Flaco. So we want to make Guadalupe aware of what's happening. So actually they agreed on putting it on the agenda. And when it's on the agenda, we will go there and present our vision. We have made a 27 slideshow with potentialities of the Oceano Beach without cars on the beach. So we will present that to the Guadalupe, and we are making arrangement also to present it to Grover Beach, and hopefully to Arroyo Grande, and to as many people and to all our neighbors, because it's not an issue that only concerns Oceano, but it's an issue that concerns the entire South County. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah.
Okay. Next, on agenda, we have the Oceano Community Service District report, and that's my job. So at this last meeting, guess what was the topic? Fireworks. And we know that fireworks is a very hot and controversial topic in Oceano and has been for quite a while. And they, as a board, we said we were going to address it first thing. And I was very happy that it was for the first thing that we addressed in the year, because it's just gotten out of hand. It's just, it's outrageous. So I was quite pleasantly surprised that some of the board members that were so against changes last year decided that they listened to the community members, and they decided that they are going to adopt a similar ordinance to that of our neighbor Grover Beach and Arroyo Grande. And so that will mean that we will not have year-round fireworks, as in paper. It's going to be illegal to have fireworks year-round 24/7. So happy, because it's just, as many of you know, the illegal fireworks and those bomb sounding, I don't know what they call them, mortars or whatever, they're just too much. And this will greatly, it'll help law enforcement be able to crack down on the illegals by making just fireworks legal 1 or 2 days. I suggested that we have fireworks on New Year's, but just because I kind of like them being Hispanic or Latina, but Karen said that she will think about it. We're gonna do a draft and then come back with the draft. I'm not sure exactly when it'll be complete, but we decided as a board, fireworks is going to be changing in the near future, and our ordinance is going to look a lot like Grover Beach's. We are going to even take it a step further. We are going to try to do something like an administrative ordinance that big cities that have issues with fireworks. This will give law enforcement more authority. It'll give us more authority with fines and all that. We're going to discuss a campaign, having a media campaign and all that. And that's going to be in the future. A letter is going to go to the Board of Supervisors recommending that they do accept an administrative ordinance here in Oceano. And they are the ones that have to do that because they're the only ones that have authority. But the OCSD is sending a letter saying that they strongly want the supervisors there to do that for the community of Oceano. So I was very happy and satisfied. Hopefully our community will get back to being a normal, quiet, we're a very quiet community except on those nights.
Yes, look, there was one right now, right here next to me. Yeah, basically you said it all. If I can just add the one thing. So the manager is coming back to the OCSD with the two drafts, two possible options. One that includes New Year's Eve, and one that that only has 4th of July.
Yeah, like Grover Beach.
And then they will vote on that. But it is done.
Yes, we voted, we accepted it.
Yeah.
And I was quite pleasantly surprised.
Very surprised,
Unanimously.
Karen and Linda Guyton. Very surprised. Yes.
So that's great.
Great.
Any public comment on any of these reports?
Nope.
Okay.
Being none, we'll go to the next item. That's discussion for next agenda. For the next agenda, notices, correspondence.
Well, when we had the bylaws for the next agenda,
Yeah, they'll be there under old business, right?
business,
Of
okay.
course, everything that we tabled will be
Mhm.
there. So yeah, definitely the bylaws and the opening, the vice chair, the treasurer, opening the fireworks protocol, or how we want to handle it exactly, so that we're all on the same page and we're not upset.
I would,
We'll handle it.
what if we, I don't know if we have to do this formally, but I mean, could we just delete off of the agenda, some of these, like the cannabis tax or curb
Yeah.
gutters and sidewalks and
Yes.
Things that are
until-
dormant and put them like for
yeah,
future.
just kind of put them to sleep for a while and we can pull them out
Totally agree. Totally. agree.
when we get something.
Yes. Totally.
Okay.
agree.
I
We'll
mean,
do that.
let's have this stuff on the agenda that we're really working on.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so should I put them in like another tab that says future topics?
I mean, if you want to have your own little file, Aline.
I could do
but
that. We could
Yeah,
do that,
just get them off the agenda.
kind of clean up
We
the
can,
agenda.
we should vote. We
Yeah.
need to vote. We can vote to dismiss some of the older business items.
Yeah,
I
we'll
think
do that.
that would be the
formally.
proper way to
I
do it.
think we should.
Maybe
Okay.
next time. So let's put on the agenda. How do we handle old business? Because some of us want to dismiss some of those items. See?
I think some of these things are just like we're not addressing, so I don't see why we even
No.
I don't really think we need a
need
motion.
a vote or anything.
Yeah, even item 4 or this VRA and Coastal Commission, as long as the OBCA is here, you will get that from me. So I don't really think we need it in our business.
I would like to leave the, I would like to leave the Public Works plan and that on the agenda as a item that we, I mean, I think we'll always be discussing that for quite a while. I
Okay.
consider that a very active item.
Okay.
Which one is this? The ODSVRA Coastal Commission?
Yeah,
Four?
yeah.
So you wanna leave that?
Yeah, I would, I'm thinking leave that and the ones that I would remove and just put it like in a separate folder or, the cannabis tax, the sidewalk. I mean, I know that those are things that the community is like wanting to know about or wants, but they're dormant right now. We're
Yes.
not addressing them.
Right.
And then, excuse me, isn't that a redundant number 1 and number 6? Vacation rental ordinance and vacation rental densities restriction for Oceano, isn't that redundant?
Yes, because before in the past, we weren't exactly talking about the ordinance itself, and now we are. So yeah, I would remove one of the
We
number
should
6.
remove number 6
Yes,
and just leave a
Yeah.
number 1.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Clean it up a little bit because those.
Yeah. Yeah,
Alrighty, I don't think we need to vote or anything on that. So looks like we can adjourn.
great.
Okay, all right, that's great.
So I'll formally adjourn this meeting.
All right.
Bye and thank you
Good
so
night
much.
and goodbye, and thank you again, Amy Justice, for coming. All right.
Thank you. It's really a pleasure. It was a wonderful meeting and it was all a very kind conversation. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Thank you for having me.
You
Oh,
bet. You're
I
welcome.
hope you
Anytime.
come back.
It was nice meeting your baby.
Thank
you-
you.
Yes, Amy. Amy, are you on, how did you learn about us? I wonder what spurred your curiosity?
I just Googled, and I found the website that said you guys were having the Zoom meeting. And so I thought I'd hop on. I'm just curious about how all the city stuff works because I don't really know.
Did you just move it to Oceano?
No, I've been here about 7 years now.
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
Yeah.
well, if you have any question, any further question, do you need a telephone number or an email address, something that you
oh,
want?
that'd be great. Yeah. I would
Okay.
love an email address.
Yes, take my address, my email address. It's
Okay.
my first name, Lucia, Lucia, and
Okay.
then Galore, like Lucia Galore,
Okay.
at gmail.com.
At gmail.com. Perfect.
There are other things happening in Oceano that you should know. So
Okay.
email me if you're curious about other things, okay?
Okay. I'll send you an email.
Thank you. That's wonderful.
All right.
Thank you, Amy. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Great
Bye.
meeting.
Bye.